this is the car I borrowed from a friend, and I had to make a little review of it because I'm only borrowing it for a couple of days. But I like, it's an old car, you know, the Touareg. This model is like maybe 15 years old, and he got it for about 4,500. So he didn't pay a lot of money for it. As you can see, the car is pretty much used up and banged up, and he's only using it for off-roading a lot. But it is a V10, a 5-liter V10 diesel engine. It's got about 400 horsepower in it, and when it runs up, you definitely feel it. It's got the big tires on it, go off-roading and everything. Carbon hood. That's not a bad thing. That's pretty nice. But as I said, the car is pretty much banged up. And the good part of the car is, of course, the engine. The engine is absolutely fantastic. Only the sound it only makes, it's absolutely fantastic. So, you can hear it. So, we are going to accelerate onto the highway with this car, and even though it leaves a lot of dust behind, it still has a good punch to it. So this is absolutely great. Up, and you reached 120. So sad things is you can feel the vibrations. I think on the back axle there are probably a few issues that need to be resolved. And take in mind that this car already has almost 200,000 kilometers on it. While it isn't a used car with this kind of engine, you know, this kind of engine, it can make easily 500,000 kilometers without any problems if it's well maintained. So you need the oil, change the oil once in a while, give the maintenance in time, change the filters, the oil filter, the diesel filter, all the other things that you really need to do if you want to maintain this kind of engine. Because bear in mind, it is a V10 engine. And even if you take a look at a car this size at 120 and you put your foot down, for example, while it goes up, and it goes up pretty easy. Factory wise, the car is limited to 250 km/h, which is, to my standards, is understandable because it's a two-ton truck you're driving. Mobility vehicle that you have to take into account. So yeah, it sure as hell stands up to that standard of a two-ton truck. Plus the consumption isn't, I mean, it consumes a lot. You said, the people that buy these kind of, like my friend bought this car as a hobby, you know, and because of the car in this age and the country where he lives, he doesn't pay much of taxes on it because of the age of the car, and he uses only the car to go off-roading, so he doesn't do many kilometers with this car. The sad thing is it's a used car. You can see where it's coming loose everywhere and stuff that doesn't work anymore. So yeah, there's a lot of things that you maybe think like, okay, I wouldn't buy this car, but it all depends on why you need this kind of car. You don't need a 5-liter V10 to drive as an everyday driver. If you drive it just in the weekends, yeah, be my guest, take it. Yeah, it consumes more, but you have lots more fun with it because of the acceleration that it does. It's not a car to drive 200 kilometers an hour constantly. Even on the German Autobahn, it's not. They don't drive crazy with these kind of cars because of the weight and the way it looks, the aerodynamics and everything. It makes that the car consumes a lot. So it's not a car to drive constantly 200 miles an hour or 200 kilometers an hour with. You have to buy these kind of cars in prospect, in daylight, what you want to use the car for. If you got the money, it's a daily driver. It drives great. It'll take you anywhere. It's a comfortable ride. Anything you want, you know. But if you don't have the money and you're just working class people who have to look out every month for what they do, well, I wouldn't recommend this kind of car. Absolutely not. Maybe the 3-liter diesel, but I already heard that like a 3-liter diesel V6, well, it does consume a bit like this one. You're not going to be able to take less than 12 liters per 100 kilometers consumption. You know, it just won't happen with these kind of cars. It's because of the weight of the car. This one is pretty heavy because of the engine is pretty heavy as a V10 engine. But even a V6 in this kind of car is a pretty heavy engine, and you have to count it to the bodywork is also about 2 tons worth. So no, you count the aerodynamics with the car and everything else. So yeah, just forget about it. You're not gonna make much more than that on it. It's just impossible. Although, yeah, for the rest, it's a nice car, it's a great car, drives great, you know. So if you like these videos that I'm trying to make, please subscribe. And I'm all new to this, so I'm trying to do everything right. So if you have any comments or any things that you want to tell me, great. Also critical things. Maybe things that I'm doing wrong, maybe also things that I'm doing good, or if you want a certain topic, be my guest, give me some advice, I can take it. This is also filmed with the cheap GoPro camera. It's not a real GoPro, it's an action camera, but it's functional, so you know, I paid 35 euros for this camera. And that's what I'm trying out now. If it goes great, how it works, what kind of footage does it give, how's the quality, stuff like that. So I'm just wondering why a GoPro costs about 300 euros. This one has cost me 35 euros. So there will be more videos to come on that side, on the review of the camera. I also got my new bike. I called it Mad Max. It's a pretty fast bike. It's a Fireblade, CBR Fireblade 954. It's a 2005